Hello and welcome to The Potential Juror. I'm Dawn, your potential juror. At least I try to be. And I'm here with Karla today. Hi, Karla. How are you? Hi, chat. How are you in
Hi,
the chat?
guys. I'm well, thank you.
Yeah, and we both just got here. We're both a little bit out of breath, but we're
A little
here.
bit.
We're excited. So I I bought my cat Tosh a toy that was inspired by Lindsay Blake, the lead prosecutor for the dumbbell trial.
Hmm.
And do you want to see it? I'm going to unveil it now. Are you ready? I meant to take a.
Totally.
I do. I did. I'll
Yeah.
put a picture. I'll put a picture of Tosh with it. She's having a nap right now, so you're just going to see the toy. But I'll put a picture of her with it
Hi,
in the
Mona.
community page. So
Oh my gosh. Literally, Mona just said cheesy eggs.
it's an egg. It's got
That
like a
is cute. Oh,
scratchy thing and a little thingy thing. She used it a couple times. It was like $40. Whatever. That's how she is. She doesn't I get her all these things. She needs a kitten is what she needs. I get her all these toys because she wants to play with me. She thinks I'm a cat. And so it's kind of
hmm.
hard because I'm not a cat. And she had a cat to play with, but then she had those tummy issues, but her tummy's better. So I'm like, oh, should I try another kitten? Anyway, so good to see you. Hey, Mona. Do you love it? Do you love Tasha's toy? I've been holding on to this
I
thing for
do. I think it's cute.
2 months. It's really cute. I saw it somewhere. Someone showed it might have been Swiffer. I'm not sure if it was Kitty Swiffer or not, but I saw it on someone else's YouTube channel and I was like, I have to find that. And they had it at
Does she
chewy.com.
like it?
Just, she's played with it a couple of times. She liked it at first, but like I said, she'd rather play with me. And I need to stop buying toys because you wouldn't even believe what this cat has at her. He's got like this. I'm not even going to go into all the things she has. I'll take more pictures of her toys for her Instagram page, I think, and maybe I should just sell them all because she really doesn't play that much with them. She likes a string.
Dawn, have you, I don't know, who knows, and if you want to share the very cool trick that she can do.
Tosh.
Uh-huh.
You mean like on a daily? Like on the regular?
Yes. You know how most of us are like, okay, let's take our, pet outside to go potty, or other ones are like, yeah, they use the cat litter. You guys, wait until you hear this if you don't know.
I think Hey Mona knows. She thought it was pretty fun. I think I told her last week. And hey, Rambo Hedril, who also has a Russian blue kitten now. So, Rambo, did you know that Tosh is potty trained? She's toilet trained. She goes on the toilet. Yes.
Like literally goes on the toilet. How freaking
in
cool.
the toilet.
Yeah,
no litter box.
in the toilet.
No litter box. And then when I got her other cat, she trained the other cat. So I didn't even have to do it. So the cat was trained in a week. I mean, he was trained. I don't know how she did it, but she just would. I don't know how she did it, but she'd stand there and watch him go and, like guide him. And yeah,
Amazing.
It was great.
Oh,
It's nice.
So Helen joined, but she's got to go. So hi and bye, Helen. We'll miss you.
Your family is here. Okay, we'll see you later on the replay. Thanks for dropping by. Yeah, so she's quite civilized, this cat. She really is. She's quite well trained. Mm-hmm. She's also
she could talk.
I know. I don't know if you've ever seen, they had these for puppies, but they also can be used by cats. They're those buttons that they squeeze, they put them on the floor and sign different words. People are doing that with their cats now, and it works really well. But I don't know if she has the attention span. I don't know. There's something about this cat. I think she just needs another cat. I really do. But I don't think I can get her one right now. I don't think it's good timing for my stuff going on. So, it's good to see the gang. Okay. So that's it. That was my big reveal. Whee!
So cute. So cute.
I know. They have everything for cats now. And I don't like eggs at all, but I had to give. I'm not an egg person. Okay, so we're going to discuss. Okay, so this is how this came about. Karla texted me and said Summer was going to be giving an interview after the verdict of the dumbbell and Idaho versus. I refuse to use his name anymore. We're done. I'm done. Okay, he's dead to me. And I tried.
Mr. Frog. I think you and Mona named him Toad, right? So
yeah,
Mr. Frog.
For Toad. Well, the Toad twins. There's two
TSP's in the house. Hey.
Hey, TSP. So usually after a trial, unless there's going to be another trial, I will kind of just disconnect. And even when there's going to be another trial, like with the Dan Markel situation, there's going to be probably at least one more trial right this year and more, hopefully. And so but I still don't stay as invested. I kind of move on as much as I can in between trials. That's just the way I roll. But Karla texted me and Karla said that Summer was going to give an interview. And I was like, nah. But Karla, so last night in preparation for tonight, I reviewed Annie Cushing's video on whether Summer knew that the children were dead, even while they were still missing or not. And she shared all the FOIA documents and all kinds of supporting documentation. And I'll link to that if you are interested. Hi, Mrs. Studley.
Oh, MS is here. Hi.
So I kind of reviewed that last night, and it really, I'm going to put my headset on because I'm echoing, and I just feel like that's why I have some real thoughts about Summer, about that. Like, yeah. So, okay. So what did you learn? What did you think about her before? And then what did you think about her after the interview? And what can you share about the interview?
So this is a tough question for me to answer the first part of that, because I cannot be unbiased when it comes to Summer and the family. I felt that their statements, and she acknowledged it, and she said that they got a lot of slack for it, but they were just in very poor taste. I put myself in her shoes.
Which statements were in poor taste?
So from the beginning,
for example,
when the children were missing, and then when they went on, what was it? 24? No, whatever the show was that they defended Lori. And while I understand that they were going based off of what Lori said, for me, I put myself in her shoes. I have a sister, I have nieces. And for my sister's behavior to completely change, I don't know if I could defend her on national TV or be completely honest and say, she hasn't given me information. I do not know where the children are, and I won't try to pretend like I'm understanding everything that's taken place. But again, hindsight is 2020, right? I will say, I think that the only reason why they've changed their tune, and when I say they, I'm referring to Summer, her family, and the Cox family, so the parents and that side of the family, because I think Adam is his name, if I'm not mistaken. No, not Adam, the other brother. Yes, Adam.
Adam. Yep.
So I think Adam may be a little bit more of a realist, but not that much more than, the other ones. But I think that the only reason, my opinion, again, is that they changed their tune is simply because of all the backlash that they got, not because they think that she is truly guilty. And we can talk about it later. We can talk about it now. The statements that they gave after Lori's conviction versus the statement that they, gave after Chad's,
Yes.
are very, very different in nature. That's okay. They're just very different in nature. And I don't feel like time has really opened their eyes too much. I feel like the only reason why, again, that they've given and saying, well, yes, now we know differently, really truly is because of the backlash that they received. Another eye-opening moment for me was the Netflix document, or not the documentary, but the Netflix, I guess I don't know, it was like the four episodes, 3 episodes. The mom didn't even acknowledge that she had a daughter who died. When they asked her how many children you have, she said one less than what they actually had.
Oh, you mean Mrs. Lori's mother, Janice Cox, didn't acknowledge that the oldest daughter had died years
I think
ago.
It was the oldest or maybe the middle. I don't remember which daughter it was.
It's the oldest daughter.
And I'm not talking about the one that they had that died at birth or whatever it was. I'm talking about the one that died as an adult.
Melanie Pawlowski's mother.
Was it Melanie's mom?
Yes.
I thought Melanie's mom was, okay.
Melanie's mother. Melanie's mother. Yes.
Okay.
Where Alex Cox was arrested the day after her death for using her credit cards.
Right. Her.
Yeah.
And it's just,
that's the family.
It's just odd, John,
that's
that
odd.
You don't acknowledge your child. I understand that they've passed away, but you still had 5 children, not 4.
Wow.
So it's just little things as such that as a parent, I'm a parent, God forbid, I hope that I pass before my children, but God forbid something were to happen, even moving forward. How many children do you have? I would say how many children I have, because that is how many children I have.
Right.
So it's just little things. I think that the family in general really is just, the statements that they gave are just based off the fact that all the backlash that they received. And she acknowledged it, and I appreciate that she acknowledged it, but it doesn't change the facts. Even if you read the statements, like I was comparing the statements, and they were almost giddy with joy and placing the blame on Chad. But with Lori, it was, well, let's focus on, our family members that are gone. So it's just very odd. And I have them pulled up, by the way. I wanted to make sure that I was right.
Can you
and
read
I can
them?
read a portion.
I would love that. So
in Lori's, and this was after that's okay. Dawn, this is their world. We just live in it.
Yes, so that's right. We just live in the world of the chat.
That's right.
We're trying to have a conversation.
We just live in it. We take care of them. We provide everything, but this is their world. So for Lori's, after they went through the section about, we sincerely appreciate the time and dedication of the jury in this case. We also appreciate all the time and effort that dedicated law enforcement attorneys and Judge Boyce has taken, et cetera, et cetera. They said, we fully accept the determined decision in our justice system. We understand this is just one step toward justice for the victims in this case. Despite today's verdict, and again, this was for Lori, we are left with our grief and sorrow over the loss of Tylee and JJ, who are irreplaceable. Our family will always feel this loss and will never be the same. We will continue to honor their memories to the best of our ability. With Chad's, here is Chad's, which again, and I'll tell you what I also commented on Twitter /X. Again, they want to express their heartfelt gratitude for all who worked on it. And here is where it says, we are grateful for all seen and unseen who contributed to this huge endeavor. We believe this is a fair sentence in light of the cruel and callous manner in which our loved ones were lost. We are also grateful for all of the prayers and support offered on our behalf. So you see how different it is where they're placing blame on him versus with her, well, we accept it and now we move on. So I can't help but feel that, and I posed this question on Twitter. I don't remember who tweeted something about the interview, and I said, a question that I would have for Summer is, would she feel the same had Lori been given the death penalty that she does about Chad? And I will tell you, I had a lot of, oh my gosh, Wesley, I haven't seen Wesley in so long. Hi, Wesley.
We've been so busy. Wesley.
I will say I got a lot of hate from some people who are very pro Summer, and that's okay. You know, we don't have to agree on everything, but I just can't help but feel, would they feel the same if Lori would have received the death sentence or the death penalty? Because in one of her interviews, and I thought it was a little callous, she said, well, I don't know if she would have received it because she's a mom. So it was a very odd statement. She said, in other words, saying, I don't know if the jury would have given her the death penalty because she's a mom.
Well, she's not a mom anymore, is she?
Well, she's a mom to one, you know, to Colby, but
he's an adult.
It was just, well, it's still his mom though, you know?
It makes it worse to me.
Yeah.
It is weird. It is weird. It is weird.
True.
That's interesting.
Those were just my observations that lead me to still question, have they truly changed their tune, or is it just because of the backlash that they've received? And this is why I started this by saying I'm not unbiased. I kind of have a bias against her. I tried to see past that, but I was just brought right back to my initial thoughts about her and the family.
Did you ever see the texts between Lori and Summer that were released to the public prior to Charles' death?
I don't think so. That doesn't come to mind.
Yeah, that's pretty revealing. No. Yeah. Have you ever seen that ring camera? Because I don't think either were in the trials, because there wouldn't have been a reason for them, I don't think. There was ring camera taken from across the street from Lori's apartment. Lori and Melanie, I guess, lived next door to each other in Idaho for a hot minute there. Across the street, people, because the police asked for neighborhood cameras and things they wanted to see. They caught someone who looked very much like Summer and sounded very much like Summer in their front yard, giggling with Lori. And they had, you know how sisters have the same giggle? It sounded like the same giggle. I mean, it could have been Melanie, but it looked like a brunette. It looked more like Summer. What would you say if you looked at the interviews before and after of of Summer and maybe Lori's mom, because one of them was with Janice and Summer together, right? With the perspective that they knew the children were dead, even though they were saying they didn't know the children were dead, especially the first interviews.
Yeah. So honestly speaking, Dawn, my gut was saying when I watched the initial interview that they knew. Of course, again, outsider looking in. Right. But I just don't know if I were to be that passive, if it were my sister and my nieces that were essentially, for lack of a better term, missing and we couldn't find. I just don't know. The expression and the raw emotion on that phone call, I felt it and I understood, and she was upset and she was pissed off and she had all the emotions. I think I would have been feeling that from the beginning versus, well, it's an opportunity, to bring the kids forward. Well, she hasn't. She hasn't. And this is why we're here.
Right. And not only that, and that phone call you're talking about was the one that was played during Lori's trial. It wasn't played during if you listen to that phone call carefully, you might think that Summer was more upset because she wasn't in on it. Like, she was being left out. She was being abandoned. There was a lot of that. And
yeah,
do you
they're definitely.
Yeah, a lot of that, more than, and then when she said, "We'll take I would have taken Tylee and JJ." Tylee and JJ were kind of left several times, and Tylee was left alone with Alex for a long time. Did anyone take them? Did anyone take Tylee at that time? No. So for her to say that they were going to just take the children, why did you do this? We could have taken the children. It just seems to me a little bit CYA to me. Like, I think there was raw emotion, but it wasn't it could have been about that, but you can have raw emotions. Even murderers can have raw emotions after they do something. Sure. So I was just wondering what you thought. Yeah. Okay. So what did you, and then, so when you say they got backlash, I feel like the backlash, and tell me if this is what you think or if you think something different, but is it backlash, or is it that people can see through them, that they're trying to fix?
Might be a combination of both.
And why would they care? I mean, it's not like it's not like they're public figures or anything. What difference does it make?
But I definitely think that they think that they are, like Colby. And look, I feel for him. I understand essentially his family is gone, but I also feel like he's strangely turned this into a platform for him to become famous. And it makes me sad. I don't know them. I don't know him. But I just don't know if he's channeling everything in the right direction. But you look, to each their own. Everybody, reacts differently to situations. But it's just odd. I don't know. Almost like they are mini celebrities, and it's just odd. It's just odd. It's like, and again, an unpopular opinion that I'm going to put out here. Larry and Kay. Had it not been for them, I get it, we would not be where we are. But I almost feel like the entire purpose of them coming forward was lost at some point, and they really have become like celebrities to people.
Right.
So,
well, that's why I have mixed feelings about CrimeCon. It's like sure, we have YouTube channels about true crime and trial watching, and for me, I feel like there's a bridge too far sometimes. So I don't know about like them having Summer at CrimeCon, and then I guess the interview you saw was not from CrimeCon. It was actually, she was a speaker at CrimeCon, right? For a law firm she's working for, which is kind of wild. But
Summer? No, I think she gave the interview to Nate Eaton, interviewed her.
Right. But she was at CrimeCon because CrimeCon invited her. She was a speaker. I saw that. She spoke about something, and because she works at a law firm and she's part of this, she was a victim from this, whole horrible thing. Yeah.
Wesley said that from what he heard, she got a standing ovation. That is just odd. Right. That's just odd to me.
Yeah, I feel like for me personally, no shade on any. We go to CrimeCon. I mean, here I am with a YouTube channel where we talk about trials, but I just feel myself personally, it's like when you have victims, and I don't know, it just seems a little weird. There's just something a little off-putting to me for about it, but yeah,
I don't know.
this
I see both positives and negative. Oh,
right.
yeah, there we go, TSP. Yeah, I
Yep.
see both positives and negative. As a matter of fact, I commented to you, Dawn, that I wanted to go to next year's. But I
Yeah.
think for me, to be quite honest with you, is I'm kind of just meeting the people that I watch on TV, like from Court TV and from Law and Crime. It's
Right.
not, I don't know if I can sit there and go to, for example, a Summer Shiflet, interview, because I don't know what I would get from it. And more so to give her a standing ovation. What am I giving her a standing ovation for? So
Being a victim. Right. And there's a lot of things that point to her actually being on board with all of it ahead of time. Maybe not. Yeah. So yeah, it makes me pretty uncomfortable. That I think that's kind of what made me start thinking about this whole CrimeCon thing, because I never really gave it a whole lot of thought. Right? You mentioned going, and then I saw that she was there, and some other people were there, and I was like, this is kind of weird. People making money, profiting off of these crimes. I think it's great to have channels like Law and Crime, and everybody who's covered every channel, little channel like mine, Society Page, every channel, small and big, and that's, I think, having conversations, because it's therapeutic. There are people who watch trials for therapy reasons, like myself, and and just for education. There are lawyers who pay attention to what people are saying so they can learn more about their craft. So I think there's a lot of great things about that, but I think Con is a little, just for me personally, it's just like, oh, I'm not sure about that one. I mean, that's a little too far for me. But I don't know. I have mixed feelings. But somebody here mentioned, in the comments are going pretty fast, about okay, if they put some of their money toward victim advocacy and things like that, and I guess crime, and I would expect that would be the case. And I love that some of the money goes toward that, obviously, toward the victims.
do they?
Evidently.
Oh, okay. I know that, for example, Gabby Petito's parents who go,
Maybe they don't. I'm not sure. Go ahead.
raise money. They raise money on their own, and that they distribute that to different, victims' rights advocacy groups and whatnot. I don't know if CrimeCon does that. They could. I have no idea.
They should. If they don't, they should. I'd feel a little bit better about it. And I don't know anything about how expensive it is to go or anything like that. But I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
Well, they do the usual gimmick where, like, if you sign up right after the current one ends, it's cheaper. But the way I look at it is, if I'm going to go, I'm going to go. I don't care what the price is. If I want to go, I'm going to go. So
right. Yeah, I have mixed feelings. But anyway, so that's how this interview came about, because Nate was at CrimeCon and he asked her for an interview, evidently, and he gets to interview. So okay, so tell us more. So what did you learn during the interview? What was the gist of what she said that might be a little different?
I haven't watched the interview that he did on stage with her. I think it was released already at CrimeCon. I only watched the one that she did. I think maybe it was like 15 minutes with Nate separately.
Okay, what did you learn?
So supposedly Lori is delusional. She does not believe that Lori knows right from wrong, right from left. I disagree. I think Lori is manipulative. I think Lori is calculating. And I think Lori has fooled people, especially her family, her entire life. She's a master at it. And I think Summer, to a degree, being her sister, and again, kind of the delusion that she's been living under, I think that Summer truly believes, or maybe is a part of pushing the narrative that Lori is delusional. I do not
Do,
believe that she is.
do you think that that's her next level of distancing herself from it, trying to make an excuse? Because that sounds like an excuse.
I don't know if it's necessarily distancing or more so justifying Lori's involvement.
Terrible actions. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think, to a degree, I don't think this family really wants to distance themselves from this. I think this has defined them, and this is who they want to be. Because again, I go back to, I think that they truly believe they're like mini celebrities.
Okay.
My opinion.
Wow. Yep, makes sense. So, but from a moral standpoint, because what I do think is they want people to believe that they're good Mormons and moral people, right? But we know about all this crazy enmeshment. We have interviews from Alex's ex-wife. He was married briefly, about how Lori and Alex were together, and the whole family encouraged this extremely inappropriate behavior. The whole family was in on it. You know, they created one another. They created her. The mom and the dad and the sisters and the brothers are all like part of that. I know that. Okay, so you're saying they still want to be, and it does sound like they're all reconciling. Like they want to reconcile with Adam now. They're on friendly. Like for a little bit, Adam was estranged from them, but now he's back in the fold. It's very, very, very. It's very, very. It's just it's a family enmeshed psychologically.
Great comment, Mona.
Okay, let's get to some of the comments and give you a little break, and then I'll get back to you. Hi, snazzy one. Okay, and Wesley says Nate's interview was a carbon copy. She probably would only take certain questions. That would be my guess. I like what I'm hearing from Karla. Who is she? Well, she's Karla. She's my friend.
I'm here. I'm Karla.
Okay. I'm going backwards. Let me go forward. Let me go up here and see. And I love all these comments. Yeah. Hey, Mona says it's uncomfortable to watch someone bask in celebrity over tragedy, especially once it's solved. Yeah, for sure. Oh, and Society Page mentioned this. This is something I know about. Mark Garagos, the attorney, and Menendez had a live call on stage at CrimeCon. Okay, so Garagos is trying to get Menendez a new trial.
I think they're trying to get him out.
Was it Menendez? Oh, Menendez, not Scott. I was thinking Scott
Peterson, not Scott Peterson.
Yeah, the Menendez. I have mixed feelings about the Menendez situation. Do you?
I do.
How many people know about Kyle and what's his brother's name?
Isn't it Lyle?
Kyle and Lyle? Yeah, the Menendez.
No. I think it's Lyle and something else.
Oh, Lyle and okay. The Menendez brothers, the two brothers in LA who murdered their parents, a wealthy family. How many people know about that case, that trial, that sentence, and have feelings one way or the other, guilty, not, or obviously they did it, but were they? It's like battered wife syndrome. Back then, they didn't have that kind of a because they were abused, severely abused.
Oh, Eric, Lyle and Eric.
Eric, yes. I just. How many in the chat know about that? How many people in the trial know about the Menendezes? Didn't Joel say he like took tennis lessons with those kids? They grew up in New Jersey by Joel. I think I just remembered that. So good to see everyone. Okay. Yes, it was ABC that they were that Janice and Summer
Summer.
were interviewed on back in the day. Easy as 1, 2, 3. Okay, there's an inside joke here. Oh, ABC into okay, ABC 1, 2, 3. Got it. Now that song is sticking in my head. Do re mi. Okay. Yep, it's in my head. Cheesy eggs. Y'all love Tasha's. Okay, so let's see. It's good to see you, Wesley, Mrs. Studley. I'm trying to get back to.
I haven't seen Dave. Where is he, Mrs. Studley?
Where is Dave, Mrs. Studley? Is he cooking?
Or is he out walking?
Is he swimming? Where's Dave Starks? Did she hide him? It's very strange to have one without the other. Mr. Studley is okay. He's in a coma. Uh-oh, what did you do to Mr. Studley? And Wesley said apparently she got Summer got a standing O.
So bizarre.
Yeah. I'd like to hear more about this call, the Menendez-Garagos call. Is Garagos involved in Scott Peterson and Menendez?
Not anymore in Scott Peterson. He was an attorney.
Okay, but now it's the I thought the Menendez had an attorney with a female attorney.
Yeah, she's who represented them, but I don't.
But now he's maybe.
I want to say that she passed away.
Maybe. And Wesley said he heard that CrimeCon was also a crime, and it's not morning here. It is early evening on Sunday here. Wesley, he was asking what time it is.
Where in the world is Wesley at these days?
Wesley, are you in Japan?
I feel like he's a little more different.
Oh. All right. And the Petitos did earn, but that was separate from the CrimeCon. The Petito family raised some money for victims of crimes as well, which is great.
Oh, he's in Tokyo.
Honey said it was a ripoff. Okay.
Yes, Bossy Texas chick, Leslie Abramson.
Leslie Abrams. Yes, that's it. Can you see the chat? You can see the chat here, right? Okay. I wasn't sure. Okay. I thought you could. I don't know why hey Mona couldn't see the chat, but she might have been. Are you on your phone or your computer?
Computer.
Okay, maybe it was because she was on her phone. Okay. And she says, I can't believe anyone doesn't know about that trial. I don't know because I'm in California and I didn't know if it was a California thing. Okay, 9 a.m. Okay, so yeah. So 9 a.m. Monday, right? You're ahead of us. Yes. Yes. Okay.
I will be in Japan in July.
Oh, you're going back. Nice. Journey to Justice. They got found guilty and they did do it. But if we kept giving people a second chance because they were abused, they would have to let a lot of prisoners out. Okay, that's true. A lot of crime is done by people who were victims of something or another. That's very true. But not all of them actually kill the person that's abusing them. And I think that's what makes this a little different because they actually killed the abuser. They just go out and kill somebody else. Right? That's the difference.
Yeah. Yeah. Most of the time they do.
Hey, Mona did great here for her first live. I thought she was just a pro. Okay. So yes, we all have 1,000. This is a thing we do. I have so many tabs open right now. Okay. So let's see. Back to what else did you learn? Pre-interview, post-interview, or whatever. Dave's out of his coma.
I don't know if I learned. Oh, there he is. We were just talking about you.
You're not in a coma anymore, I guess.
I don't know if I learned before or prior to the interview much about them other than I just thought that they were very odd. There was just something off about that whole interview. But again, those have just been my observations. That
Well, that's what we want to hear. That's what we want to hear, your observation.
Yeah, that they're definitely defined by this tragedy. And although most people would be, I think you either channel it into something positive or you become a perpetual victim. And I just don't know if the latter is the route that I would take.
Gotcha. So maybe they're still in the defensive mode. They're feeling defensive, do you think? Like you said, trying to justify what
I don't
she
know.
did.
Yeah, I don't know. I definitely though think that they believe that she was coerced by him, that he, pulled all of the strings, and that he had full control of everything. And I just don't believe that. I think Lori has been a manipulator. She's been calculated. She's been the one running the show for many, many, many years. They just wouldn't see it. They refused to see it. Joe Ryan died. Charles died. She has a history. She has a pattern where she's the common denominator, but they refuse to see that.
Right. Wonder if anything will change after the Arizona trial, if there's a guilty conviction, if there's a conviction.
Yeah.
They're going to come out again. Yeah.
That's another thing. Good. I'm glad you brought that up because they live in Arizona and I just find it very hard to believe that when you get the opportunity or they get the opportunity to go and see her, that they wouldn't take it. I know she said that right now they're not able to see her because everything is happening with the trial over there or, leading up to the trial. I just don't believe that they would not go see her. I really don't.
So they asked if they were visiting her and they said no?
And she said no. She said, no, we can't right now. So.
If they're going to be a witness in the trial, or because some of these texts I was talking about might be revealed in this trial between Lori and Summer right before Charles' death. So it could be that she's a witness. You got to wonder if there was a conspiracy, more of a conspiracy there, and they're just not charging a lot of people. I mean, they didn't even bother charging Chad with that. Wow, that's interesting.
That's a good point that Journey just made. Remember, her mother said, Lori, when she is like that, yep, we just let her be in her own world. Just shows you they knew Lori was in the left field and did nothing. I believe that. I really do.
Yeah, it's the worst thing to hear about families. It's a pet peeve of mine when you have somebody who's clearly needs mental health help. It's like medical assistance, right? If they're sick, you take them to the doctor. If you broke your foot, you go to the doctor. You have your foot set, you have a cast. But with mental health or mental health issues, you just push it under the rug, and it drives me crazy with a lot of families who do that. We just let her be Lori. No, that's
but that was part of the problem, is that
right. They created the situation. Right. And that's why I think if I were a family member and I was in that situation where I just let this all slide all these years and this happened, I would feel defensive. I would feel like I had some role in that if I were had a conscience. That's why I wondered if you picked up on them feeling defensive, but it doesn't sound like you got that from them. No. The other thing that is will come out during the trial, it may not, but Melanie Gibb wanted to be with Lori the day and night prior to Charles' murder. And Lori was like trying to put up with her and like, okay, you can come over, but you have to be quiet because my entire family is here. The whole family was there. Adam, Lori, Alex. Lori wanted Melanie Pulowski there, but she wasn't. And also, as far as Adam goes, I don't know if you recall this part, but it was Charles who was trying to enlist Adam's help with Lori.
Mm-hmm.
He was trying to arrange for an intervention.
Mm-hmm.
He paid for Adam's ticket to fly. I guess these people don't have any money. Charles is paying for their ticket, his ticket to fly out. And instead of getting in touch with Charles and going through with the plan, Adam got in touch with his mother, and they all ended up over at Lori's house. And the next day, Charles ended up murdered.
Mm-hmm. But I do believe,
and there's text
I do believe that Adam saw the signs a long time ago, and maybe that's why he was made to kind of be the black sheep, if you will, because he was not going along with Alex and Lori. So I do believe that he tried, but he also has his own life, and there's been some controversy with him as well. So, he was trying to do what he could from afar.
Yeah, but he didn't stick to the agreement with Charles, that's for sure. And Charles ended up dead.
Yeah. Yeah, that's got to weigh pretty heavily.
If I had an arrangement for an intervention, which is a very sensitive thing to do with somebody who I thought was mentally ill, which is what Charles thought at the time, and then they just revealed my plans to everybody instead of going through with it, right? I would be, he left him out there all alone. He just totally abandoned Charles. So,
yeah.
Summer is in denial, according to Journey to Justice again. Hello. Summer is in denial still, and she said Lori had a choice to stay in the hospital or go to prison or something like that. Oh, she didn't. She didn't have a choice. That's right. That's right. Yeah. Not true. Yeah. So the thing is, Summer can say all she wants because 90% of people won't know what Journey to Justice knows. 90% of the people won't have read all these texts or know the law in Idaho, watch the entire trial and all the hearings and understand that wasn't an option. Yes. And Pryor was awful, but he did make good points about Gibb. That's right. Pryor was on to Gibb. I think Gibb was also very much in the loop the night before Charles was killed.
I don't know. I don't think that he was awful. I think that he was up a losing battle, and he did the best that he could with what he had. Was he always?
I think he would. Yeah, I think he did much better than I expected.
I do too.
Mm-hmm.
Was he the most polite? Was he the most astute? Probably not. But it's hard to defend your client when quite literally a message is being played, that just screams guilty, guilty, guilty. I did it.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
I will tell you, in my opinion, Sulema, Melanie Gibb, Melanie Pulowski, they should be in jail.
Well, and I don't think that Summer is too far out of that group, personally. She was there for everything.
You think so? I don't know if Sulema and Melanie Gibb wouldn't have thrown her under the bus if she was a part of things. I think she was a part of things, just Lori confiding in her and letting her know. But I don't think she was a part of things as in the castings and all that crazy nonsense.
I think she might have been, believed all of that stuff. And she claimed to maybe have met Chad once in that ABC interview, but she knew Chad. She knew who Chad was. Even the mom had met Chad. Come on. How could they have known him? Charles just died 2 weeks later. He got married. How did they know him? And they had already, right?
Good point.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it was all a little too, I just don't know, the whole
Convenient.
Mm-hmm. But I think the comment that Justice was making is the Idaho law. The Idaho law is, yeah, she was fit, unfit. But eventually, she would have stood trial. There's not like a not guilty by reason of insanity, and you get to go to a hospital the rest of your life. That's not an option. It's just not an option.
Not there. Not there.
Mm-hmm. So, okay. Yeah, the jurors thought he is definitely an abrasive guy. His personality was very set. He's very set in his ways. But I was just surprised. I mean, because I watched all the pre-trials and all that, and I thought he was going to be a lot worse. Maybe I just I thought he would be worse. I didn't even know how I was going to make it through that trial and be able to listen to him. It was interesting how one of the jurors commented on him looking at them. Remember how you said it made you uncomfortable how he was looking over there so much at the jurors? Yeah.
I mean, he would stand at the lectern, ask a question, the witness is in front of him, but he would be looking at the juror.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And it would just, at a certain point, it was very uncomfortable. It made me uncomfortable, let alone the jury.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's see. What else? Oh, and society page, as far as Donna's trial daily. I mean, I could if you guys want me to. I don't know. I mean, it's not going to be as long. It won't be as much. I mean, I don't normally do daily coverage of any of the trials, but
maybe you should consider if you can't do it daily, maybe like a every other day, like a wrap up.
Yeah,
like
reactions
today.
Yeah. It could be fun. I mean, I could live stream it and do reactions, take notes. I mean, if I live stream, it'd be fun because we could have our comment. We can have our little group here and comments. That's always fun. Okay, so yes, he wanted to be a professional fisherman, whatever that is. Okay. I didn't know that was a thing.
Oh, a professional. Yeah, there's professional fishermen.
I mean, there's professional fishermen. I mean, people that go to Alaska and catch salmon and stuff like that. Why is my mother texting me? My mother never texts me. Aw. Okay, so tell us more. What other impressions did you have before and after?
No questions. That was just the big one. Like I said, I posted it on Twitter/X. I got some hate mail, or not hate mail, but some backlash from people that are pro Summer and Lori and, that family. And it was just a very simple question. Would she feel the same if Lori would have received a death penalty?
Right.
Because I can't help but wonder, again, based on the statements that they released, it was almost like they were giddy with excitement that he was found guilty. And yes, look at him, he's the bad guy. But with her, it was like, well, we want to thank everyone, and here we are. But let's not forget about, Tylee and JJ. And there was just no culpability when it came to her, and during her interview with Nate, she was just saying Lori's still delusional, and I disagree.
Okay, let's talk about that with the chat a little bit. So, I feel like anyone who takes someone else's life, let alone their own children, or plays a part in that, or even entertains the idea, like anyone who doesn't have enough discipline to rein in their hatred enough, where they're going to cause harm to another human being, has to be somewhat mentally ill. But so I already feel that way. But to say that she was, do you feel like she's just morally bereft? Like she's just off? Like she doesn't care about life? She doesn't respect life? That she is above it all?
Mm-hmm. I
Yeah.
think she's been like that her whole life.
And even her brother Adam did say that death means nothing to her. He
Mm-hmm.
did say that. And I think that is part of the problem with this whole, not just their spin-off, but this whole belief system that this veil thing and life and death, and you're just on the other side. No, death is, you're dead. Like, that is a big deal. Your life stops. You're dead. That's not like, oh, it's just a little, you're just going on another planet or whatever it is that those people think. And I think that's dangerous with that religion. But it could really happen to many religions, because if you take a belief, yeah, it could happen. But did you get into, like, did you get the sense at all, because I've heard that the Cox family, starting with Barry and Janice in general, raised their children to believe that there's something special and unique and above other people.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like these 1%ers or something, even though they don't have any money and they're living off of the government, and gosh knows, they're like getting as much they could from Charles. Like, they really are impoverished from what I could tell. They're not a wealthy family by any means. So does that come through in any of the interviews? Did you get that?
Yeah, I mean, they definitely raise them with a sense of entitlement that they're above, Good night. I think it was very telling. So Chad, somebody said it, and I can't remember that, and I think it was his sister-in-law, Heather, where he was the special one. Oh my gosh, Wesley, you took the words right out of my mouth, that he was the special one. I think Chad zoomed in on that when it came to Lori, where she felt that she was special, that she was above things. And that's why she kept saying, well, it doesn't count for me. It doesn't count for us. It doesn't count,
Right.
because that was the way of excusing the bad behavior,
Exactly.
But that didn't come from Chad saying, yes, it came from him as far as telling her, but it's truly ingrained into who she is. The fabric of her DNA has been that she suffers no repercussions. I mean, there's something to be said, and she's not a celebrity. Most of the time it applies to celebrities. There's something to be said about someone who's on their 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th marriage. There's
Right.
a pattern of behavior, and they're the common denominator. And so I think that she and her siblings, and perhaps some more than others, Lori, were raised, and they truly believe to this day that they are above everyone. They are above me, they are above you, and they are better. And soon enough in time, you'll see why.
We'll see why. And we're so high above others that we can decide life and death. We can make those decisions about life and death,
light and dark, and
all of it. Yeah. And judge other people. Do you, from Journey, do you think it was all the state's fault that Lori's death penalty charge was taken away? I can tell you my answer on that. No, it wasn't the state's fault. It was Lori just entertained her option to have a speedy trial, and death penalty case would have required much more preparation. There's so much
that right there, Dawn. For someone who is delusional, she's making the decisions because she is manipulating the situation.
That's right.
And to a degree, I will tell you, it was really in poor taste when, not Jim Archibald, her other attorney,
John Thomas.
During his statement, and he said, and I'll never forget his words, and he said that he decided to change to become a defense attorney because Jesus did not prosecute people. I thought it was in very poor taste for him to say that, because being a prosecutor is not an easy job. And I'm not saying being a defense attorney is, but it was almost like a jab at like Lindsay Blake and Rob Wood. And to a degree, I think that he fell, excuse me, for her BS at a certain point.
I
really
didn't hear him say that, but Jesus did. I mean, obviously he wasn't a prosecutor, but I mean, Jesus definitely was not a marshmallow. Okay.
Yeah, no, he said Jesus didn't persecute people. And that's why, being a prosecutor, being a prosecutor is not the right path to take, or something along those lines. So it was just in poor taste. It was in poor taste. And Lindsay Blake even looked over at him when he said that, like, wow, you have nerve.
Right. Wow, indeed. Okay, let me quick go back to, okay, so this is really sweet. TSP says, you're my favorite hangout. Being here for Charlie's conviction was the place to be. That was an incredible experience, that jury watch. It was so fast. So I'll take that as, okay, I will do Charlie's trial by popular demand. Why not? Why not?
I think it'd be cool for you to have different people on. Maybe not every day, but just kind of like to have on with you if you're going to go live, or if it's just going to be sound, even that's fine. Also.
Right. I'll have to figure out how I want to do it, because I don't want to, how do I say this? I don't want to, like, when the trial's going on, if I live stream it, I'll be tempted to jump in and butt in. Like, I don't know. Do you guys want me to do the trial and then talk during the trial? I could always pause it for a second and say what I want to say, but it's going to be hard for me to keep my mouth shut, because I can live stream the trial, stay off, don't talk, mute myself like I did for the jury selection, and then and for the opening and closing arguments like I did for this trial, and then I could do commentary after. That's a long day, but you tell me what you want me to do, I'll do it. Okay. Now this is a good comment from Hey Mona. So for these people who are so above, why would a progressed soul make such poor choices? That's right, because they're not. They think they are. They want to be known for that, but very poor choices. Now she's in prison for the rest of her life. She did show, I thought you were going somewhere else with your comment, but I'm going to add on to what you just said, because I 100% agree with what you were saying. But another thing I've thought about is Lori showed how much she wasn't just in la la land when she made the decision to go to a speedy trial to keep herself from the death penalty. Mm-hmm. That was a calculated, smart choice. Mm-hmm. If you don't want to be on death row. And so that didn't seem like somebody who was just completely crazed out of their mind or medicated out of their mind. So I think her insanity was, I'm not even sure how insane. I don't know if it was even real. Mm-hmm. I mean, it had to, yeah. So, okay. So they're saying don't mute. Okay. My commentary is the best part. Well, I mean, I won't. Okay. So I would, because even when you're watching a live, you can pause. I can pause, say something, and then go back to the live. I'll just have to remember to pause it so I'm not talking over and miss anything.
I say we take a vote. I think it will be a week, if not less, before Donna speaks up and says something, and her attorney has to tell her to keep her trap shut
during the trial.
Yep. I don't think she's going to be able to just sit there and listen to everything and not make a comment. Kind of, how she was animated at her.
Oh yeah.
With the other attorney that represented her.
Oh yeah, she was quite verbal. I have a feeling she might keep her trap shut, but she's not going to keep her face shut. Like her face, she's going to be very animated, and she can get in trouble even for that.
Yeah,
like
she could.
The judge for making all those faces. Judges have reprimanded her, but also other defendants for that. Yeah,
I don't know. I don't think she's going to be able to keep quiet.
Even her mouth.
I don't.
That's going to be fun. That'll be fun.
Yeah, Donna. That'll definitely add. And I hope the jurors will be able to say, okay, so that's just a little taste of what Dan had to endure when he was a part of this family.
Yeah, I mean, I have mixed feelings on that. Hi, Granny Juju. Whoops. Hi, Granny Juju. Donna being passive aggressive. I have mixed feelings on that. If I were on trial, well, it would have to be for something I didn't commit, like a murder I did not commit, because I would not murder somebody or be part of that. So I would have a hard time keeping it to, like, not making faces if somebody was lying or saying something untrue, because that does happen. And so I don't know, as a potential juror, I've thought about this a lot. As a potential juror, because Dumbbell was making faces. He was making some faces at times. He was, in fact, somebody showed some of them a close up, which helped me a lot because I wasn't seeing them necessarily. But but I don't know. Do you guys think that the jurors really expect you not to make faces? They're looking at you. So, I mean, you could have righteous indignation like on your face.
Yes, Society Page. Yes, you need to come on.
Yes, of course. You have an open invite. And Karla, Mona, anyone in the chat who wants to come on, I always invite my chatters on. A lot of people don't want to. Wesley.
I don't know. I think I will tell you. So when I was like the second to the last person to be excused. A local trial. I did not live in this area when it happened, but it was 3 people who were on trial for first-degree murder of a girl. Even sitting there as, going through the jury selection, I was looking at them and they were making faces at a certain point when the prosecutor was saying, well, how would you feel if, insert here? And I don't know if I expected them not to, because you're a human being. I will tell you, I don't have a poker face, and I have to remind myself sometimes to like put a, like game face, because I just naturally will be like, are you an idiot? Like, are you stupid? Are you, so I don't know that I would expect someone not to make faces.
Right.
Yeah.
How would you not? I mean, to me, that's not a big deal. I just think it's entertaining with Donna. Because she's just she clearly doesn't have a poker face either. And I
know,
like that.
And she's very entitled. She's been entitled her whole life. So
sure. Right. So, she told you to mute yourself after the lemon drop. You made her a lemon drop, and he said and Dave says, Mrs. Studley attacked. Zoe attacked Zay. Okay, I don't know. Daybell was the exception. Yes, Daybell's face. I'm just so glad this trial is over. I forgot we were coming on live about this, because the last live I was like, this is the last time we're going to talk about this trial, and I forgot we were coming on tonight. Now this will be the last one. So, okay, yes. Okay, so everybody, gosh, it's right around the corner, and football season is right around the corner too. How exciting. We're going to have Donna's trial and the NFL back at the same time. Oh,
how many of you in the chat plan on going, even if it's a day or two, to Donna's trial? Because I think a lot of people are going.
Right. That's right. You're planning on going. Anyone in the chat planning on going for Donna's trial in person?
I wanted to go, but I just don't think I'll be able to.
Yeah. I'm definitely going to have to. I know with my situation, I should be okay to go live, but I don't think I'll be able to travel. Society Page is going to go for a bit.
Oh my gosh, we can have Society Page report, like,
Yes, take notes on the jury, please. Yeah. No one talks about the jury.
Yeah, not enough people talk about them.
Be my jury correspondence, Society
Page.
Oh my gosh,
that would be cool. And if you did
about that,
Society, and if you went, like, if you do like a lunch live, to to talk about the jury, that would be cool.
Granny Juju has a friend in Tallahassee she could maybe stay with. That's cool. I have a sister-in-law in Jacksonville. I don't know how far that is. Yeah, boots on the ground. Does Katie do jury coverage? I think I watched her for Charlie's. That's right. All right. Awesome. Okay. What? And do you know, is she going for the whole trial? Oh, okay. Answered my question. Okay, so we have a jury. We got boots on the ground for the jury. That makes me happy. At least somebody's going to do that this trial. Nobody did that.
It would be nice to hear the perspectives of different people, you know,
That's
because
true,
my
more than one
perspective,
person.
yeah, my perspective may be very different than the person sitting next to me of the
Sure.
jury.
Right, and if you came in just for a couple of days, you might have a completely different look than somebody who's been watching them the whole time too. So
yeah.
Definitely. Wendy's, no doubt. I don't care what's going on in my life. I don't care if I'm in the middle of a surgery, I'm going. The surgeon's going to have to bring me. Or I'll bring them and the anesthesiologist.
We'll go together. We can, me, you, Mona,
the Californians.
We can all go together.
Well,
anybody else in Southern California can join us.
That's right. So the California group here can, if we're not at, I mean, I know I can't go to Donna's, but we can meet here, right? We can meet at my place if you want to do some live streams, especially for the verdict. That would be fun. Granny, are you in California too?
Where? Yeah, we're in California.
Southern, northern, middle. I love her lavender. I love you, lavender, Granny.
Except that it attracts a lot of bees.
Sorry?
I said, except that it attracts a lot of bees. I have lavender.
Oh, it does. It does.
And it's like a bee haven.
These boots are made walking, and that's just what they'll do.
Donna's not really worth our time. I don't know, Dave.
What?
I think she's.
Oh, I thought you said Dawn. It's not worth our time because I was singing. I was like, what?
No.
Is it that bad? I love that song. Yes, come move to California, Wesley. Oh, Dana Point.
Dana Point.
Oh, you're right around the corner.
Yes, you're down the street from us. Well, down the street, down the street, around the corner, and down the highway. But yes,
a little bit up the highway. So, so Mona is in like the Santa Monica area, right? And we're down in the San Diego area. So we're all right in between, right on the coast. So just hop on the 5, come on down. We definitely have, if not jury selection, what is happening now? You missed it.
Now, question about Donna. I know that this is supposed to be about Summer, but question about Donna. Has anyone heard, and I think I asked you, Dawn, can a motion still be filed for a change in venue, like to a different area?
Yes, in fact, I think they did a motion and it's still like open. I haven't had the thing. It's not going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen.
Why?
Because courts tend to want to try to have the trial where the crime happened for fairness, for justice, for the sake of justice. And because Tallahassee and its outlying area is large enough that they can find a jury pool that can even that can either not have so much exposure or, and not see. I mean, if they could do it for the Daybell trial, I mean, they had to go to Boise because Rexburg, there's like 3 people that live in Rexburg. It's seriously tiny. Yeah. It's so tiny. They wouldn't have even probably been able to manage. And this is the issue they're getting into with the Kohlberger trial. The town is so small. They don't have hotels for the lawyer, all the staff that needs to be there. So for sure.
Bye, Granny Juju. Happy birthday to your dad.
Okay. All right. Oh, wow. 95. That's fantastic. That's right. So,
But can't she argue though? Okay, because one of the recordings, remember when she and Charlie were talking and he said, no Adelson will be able to get a fair trial in Tallahassee.
mhm.
Can't that argument be made later that if the change of venue is denied, she was not able to get a fair trial? Because they picked from a large group of jurors for Charlie, including the mayor that had to, had to recuse himself. So really, like, how much? I didn't think Tallahassee, that's what part of the appeal is that it's a sleepy, smallerish town.
It's not, though. It's not that small. It's a university town. It's the capital of Florida.
Right.
I mean, just because Charlie said that, right? It's not like the governor said it or one of the prosecutors said it. So I don't think the fact that Charlie said it would be anything that they could appeal on. But I mean, I do think that the decision is still up. It hasn't been decided on yet. I think they already did the motion. If I remember correctly, there's still going to be a hearing on it because he has to do a hearing if there's a motion. He doesn't have a choice, but judge has to do that. I mean, he could, but I kind of doubt if he's going to, because they do really try. Like I said, Rexburg was different. It was a tiny, tiny little town, and they just moved it out to a bigger town. What are they going to do? Bring it to, I don't know, Jacksonville, Miami? It's not going to really be any different, I don't think. One of the things Koberger's defense attorneys did was, and there was some flack about that, but they were trying to figure out whether they could have fair trial or not in that tiny little college town where they lived, or in Moscow, Idaho, where this all took place. And they did a survey. They were able to do a survey to see how many people heard about it, if they had made up their mind, and did they hear this and did they hear that. And so they could probably do those kinds of things. But yeah. And so Society Page is agreeing that Tallahassee would have a large enough jury pool, I would think. And in fact, the fact that it's a university town, there's people coming and going, like there's a lot of in government jobs and that kind of thing. There's a lot of new blood in that area too. So there could be lots of people that weren't in Tallahassee at the time of the murder and heard very little about it. I would think. I mean, there'll be a hearing, but because I think the motion already happened, if I'm not mistaken. I know that Rashbaum brought it up. And I think there's still going to be a hearing on that, but I don't think it's going to happen.
Okay.
Exactly. Teachers, government workers. It is the state capital. Okay, and the Studleys are going to go to the trial for Donna's trial for a couple of days too, maybe.
I think from where they are to Tallahassee, it's a
little ways. I think she said it was 4 hours. I asked. Something like that. She said
something like that.
Yeah, she said she wanted to go. And Haymona says the Society Page will be able to assess them for us. I think we're talking about the jurors. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And color commentary from, yes. Oh, you could do a video about them. I love jurors with all my heart. Like, I am so glad, even though it was a big slog and a long, amount of time investment that we did the whole jury selection. I just am so happy I did that with you guys. Paid very close attention to the jury process, the selection process, the questions that the lawyers asked, even though they got a little redundant. Again, I don't think Dave saw this. That's the unveiling of the jury selection themed cat toy that Tosh got
In honor of Lindsay Blake.
in honor of Lindsay Blake, and never hearing about eggs again. But yeah, so Mrs. Studley wants to go. Dave says, I'll stay home with Bella. Well, if I were going to go, I would come down and get you, Mrs. Studley, and come up with you. But that's going to have to be Wendy's, I guess. Yeah, the jurors are all of us. Could be any one of us. In fact,
He wants to know what the hell that is.
come on.
It's a fried egg, cheesy eggs. Remember, Lindsay Blake talked about it. So it's a cat toy.
It's Tasha's jury selection themed toy that I told you all about. It's an egg.
She was going to reveal it tonight.
I was supposed to reveal it a long time ago, but I kept forgetting. But I just remembered Dave was in the chat. He didn't see it earlier. Now you're hungry. Okay. Okay. So it's Karla has a hard stop in 8 minutes. So any final thoughts about the interview for Karla? Any final thoughts you have, Karla, before we really, really, really do put Dumbbell to bed?
Oh, I don't know if we could put it really to bed, considering Charles's trial is coming up. So, and I don't think it's going to be this year. I think more like next year.
True, because the Arizona, anyone interested in seeing the Arizona trial, I could live stream that too.
Yeah, I am.
Supposed to be August. I don't know if it's really going to be August.
She'll come up with something to question her, mental stability, and it'll be dragged out again. And have you seen her? I mean, maybe it's just me, but it's like she loves the spotlight. When she is making a court appearance, she is always,
for sure,
done her makeup and everything.
Yes,
it's just bizarre. It's just bizarre.
No, I know. In some ways, I don't even want to watch or cover the trial because I don't want to give her any attention. It's disgusting. So what did who say this time? You mean Lolo? Flolo? Yes, our door beer experiences together, the whole voir dire or voir dire. Yes. Summer. What did she actually say this time?
Oh, she said a lot of, in my opinion, nonsense. You'd have to watch for yourself.
So it was that Lori's just crazy. That Lori's crazy.
Well, that Lori's still delusional, that Chad was the mastermind, that Lori, she said that she told Lori that Chad threw her under the bus, and that Chad said, or that Lori said, you just don't know. You'll know. And so she said,
so she had a conversation with Lori after the verdict?
She sent her a text message, because apparently you can text message people in prison.
Okay.
So she said she sent her a text message to inform her that Chad was throwing her under the bus as part of his defense, and that Lori essentially just shrugged it off and said, you just don't know, or you'll know soon enough, or something along those lines.
Well, that's interesting right there. Like, why would you do that? Like, you're just stirring stuff up with your.
So one of the questions that was posed to her.
Who's the crazy one? Someone?
Yeah, one of the questions that was posed to her is, do you know if she's watching, or if she watched the trial? And she said, I don't know if she did, but I let her know that he threw her under the bus as part of his defense. Yes, that's what I've been saying. Hi.
Wow. Hi, True Crime Wifey. We're just about to finish up, but you can replay from the beginning. Sorry, Karla has to leave in 5 minutes. You have a hard stop, don't you?
I do. Yeah.
So she basically just, instead of taking any responsibility for it, and she sounds like she's still stirring up stuff between. That's interesting.
Yeah, she said that she let her know that Chad threw her under the bus as part of his defense, and that she's like, this is why I know she's delusional. She doesn't know. In other words, just continuing to excuse the behavior. because she just said, well, you'll see soon enough, and people don't understand the same things that she's been saying, is what she is alleging that she's still harping
Wow.
on.
I mean, just that says a lot. That says more about Summer than it says about Lori.
Yeah, I thought it was a little odd, but I'm not surprised given the dynamic of that family.
Right. Wow. Well, that's a good one to end on. So, yeah, she's just basically, to me, I mean, I think it's a little bit of defensiveness. If my family member did something like that, I'd probably feel like defending myself. But for her to inject herself into their relationship like that, that's just bizarre. I mean, what good
I'm not
would it?
surprised, though. I'm not surprised. I think that they were very ingrained, and there's nothing wrong with it. You can be ingrained in, the life of your siblings, but I don't think that there were boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
And if there were any, they were certainly not healthy boundaries.
Right. But yeah, I mean, that's huge. That's huge what you just revealed, though. I'm kind of blown away by that. I'm kind of blown away.
That's an excellent point that True Crime Wifey just made. Chad is horrible, but no one ever died until he met Lori. That's an excellent point.
And a lot of people died before. Yep.
Did you hear? And I say I have to go, but clearly that may not happen. But did you hear? And I read it, and it was on Reddit. It was on one of the subreddits. So when Lori was going through her divorce, I want to say with the man that she married right before Joe Ryan. So the attorney that was representing her, that she also ended up either suing or trying to complain about him to the bar association, suddenly died.
Oh, yeah. I covered that.
Okay, yeah, because someone said that his secretary, there was an article somewhere that his secretary mentioned that he had told her that he was afraid of Lori essentially potentially taking matters into her own hands when it came to their case. Wow.
Yes. Yeah, there are several, but also Chad's neighbor.
But this is like way.
Oh, I know. This is back in Arizona.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, this was like in Texas. This was like in Texas.
And she never had to pay him because of it.
Right.
She owed him all that money to cover it for representing her.
Yes.
It's like $20,000 or $30,000.
Yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, good grief. Wow.
Oh, yeah. There's a whole line of people. I have a chart. I don't know. You probably just forgot. It's a big chart of all these dead bodies that are in her wake. Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, guys. Well, I don't drink. Potential juror Dave drinks every day. Oh, okay. I thought you were saying Don does. I don't think Chad has ever had any alcohol in his life. Maybe when he met Lori, possibly, but yeah, I don't know. As a Mormon, I don't even know if Lori drank any alcohol. She might have, because they weren't really practicing strict Mormonism, as far as I remember.
Yes, Grant Amato, another one.
Yeah. Yes. Crazy. Okay, you guys. Well, it's been great. It's been a journey. We're gonna let Karla go. It's time for her to get back to her chaos.
Oh. I'm going through major remodeling, you guys, of my house, and it's just, I kid you not. So we've been in this house. We bought it 3 years ago. We've been under construction for 2 of the 3 years.
That's a lot. Well, if you're still under construction, or even if you're not, we can get the Southern California girls over here to do some of the Donna trial and.
Yeah, construction or not, I'm there.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you so much, chat, everyone, for being here. And those who are replaying, hi to you too. Karla, as always, for your time. Love you all. It's been fun. And we'll figure out what we're going to do for some of these upcoming trials. I'm here for you. It will be fun and informative and educational and egg toy. Egg toy. That's right. Egg toy. And I will post a picture of Tosh with her egg toy, which I took a little video for you in the community page as well. So with that, we'll say bye for now. Thanks again, Karla.
Bye,
have a good night.
Good night.